Hi guys, it's Jody from Arjet Creations. I am online again today. I am going to work on some loaded pockets. I made some last year for Christmas and they sold out. So I'm going to attempt to make some more because I had some leftover items. So I have them all packaged up here. We're going to see how fast we can do it and get this one put together. So I'm just going to take out the stuff I'd set aside, and we're going to start with the base and work from there. So this is just a regular old polka dotted gift bag that I got from the dollar store. That's what I'm going to use as the base of my pocket. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up the edges. And I'm going to be folding it up as such. So actually, before I ink, I'm actually going to just burnish that down. So that we can ink. Okay, so I'll start inking. I hope everyone's doing good today. The weather here is starting to get cold. We have snow on the ground, which for Northern Alberta is actually very late. Usually we have snow in October, and this year we didn't. We had brown Halloween, which is unheard of. I honestly can't remember the last time it was like that. I remember freezing, taking my kids out trick-or-treating, and now the weather this year was actually quite mild and nice, and we had no trick-or-treaters. So I don't know if you guys did, but here we didn't. Now, I do live in a rural area in Northern Alberta, and so we haven't had any the last few years. Anyway, I was thinking that this year, because we have little kids down the street now, that we might, but we didn't. All right. So now I have that all inked. I'm just going to take some of the whiteness out just by running my sponge over. All right. Okay, so that's going to be our base. I am going to stitch it. I'll do that in a little bit. But the next thing I want to do is put a pocket on. So I have this one ready. Now, for any of you who watched my video the other day, you may recognize this pocket. It is one from my new digital kit, my Christmas 2001 digital kit. I have this printed out on cardstock, and I'm just going to ink this up as well. I think this is the first year that I have been this early doing Christmas. Usually I am so far behind, and this year I got my stuff out early, so hopefully everything will be done. All right. So what I was thinking, it'll be slightly different than what I did last year. But I'm thinking of sticking that in there like that. Maybe down just a touch. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that on. I'm just going to use a little bit of my Fabri-Tac. And I'm just debating whether or not I want that pocket to go all the way down. Let me just see before we do that, let's look at some of the items I have to put in. I do have some tall ones. This can go in the pocket. Those can go in the pocket. So yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna glue it down just like that. Okay, so get my glue out. Like I said, this is going to be sewn. You don't have to sew yours if you decide to make one of these, but I'm going to sew mine. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of glue, and here I go, forget to use my glue book again. I'm just gonna line it up. I wanna make sure that you don't see the end of that pocket. Just like that. And I think while I'm at it, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue down these edges as well. That will just make it a little bit easier to work with. All right. Okay. So that is the base of our loaded bag. I do want to make another little pocket down in this section. So I'm just looking at some of the scraps I have to see what might work. I need something obviously a little bit wider. And that's gonna work. I'm just gonna shave off a little bit. Okay. Oh, well, let's see what I have here first before I get too far, because I also have that. Or I could just do this one. Too many choices. I don't want that one. But I do have this. Okay, I'm gonna use this little piece and I'm just gonna trim it down. I'm gonna bring my paper cutter over. And I'm going to measure my bag. My bag is 4 inches. So I'm just going to cut this at 4 inches. Sorry, this is a big paper cutter. I'm going to cut it at 4 inches. And then I'm going to trim off a little bit and see where we're at for sizing. Obviously I can't measure, so let's do that again. 4 inches, not 3. I'm just gonna check that again. That's okay, that'll make a good tag. It's 4.5 inches. This is my issue. Okay, 4.5 inches. I bet you guys saw that too and said, well, you can't measure. And we'll take some off. And I still want a little bit off. I just want that to be a little pocket at the bottom there. All right. Move that to the side. This we can put aside and use as a tag. So we'll do that. And then just to make it blend a little bit better, we are going to ink this piece as well. I just find that inking just makes everything kind of blend together, even if the colors don't quite match. And really, you're not going to see a lot of this anyway, because we're going to cover it up and decorate it all up. Just again, taking some of that white off. I had a lot of fun making these last year, and I sold, I don't know how many of them I made. I made quite a few of them, so they worked out good. All right, same thing at the bottom. I'm just going to go around the 3 sides. And again, this is just to hold it because I am not good at sewing. So we'll get that on there, centered as best we can. I don't have it 100% right, but that's okay. All right. So now, I think the next thing we should do is sew our bag. I'm going to just sew down these 3 sides just to seal it up, and I guess I'm going to use black thread because that's still in my machine from yesterday. I would probably prefer brown, but it is what it is. I'm just going to do a straight stitch just because I don't want to take up too much space, and I am going to back stitch just a little bit here along the top. I say that and then I forget to do it. I'm going to stay as close as I can to the edge so I'm not taking up space in my pockets. And again, when I get up to this top corner, I'm just going to back stitch a little bit, just because it's going to be a spot of tension. All right. Okay, so let's just clean this up a little bit, and then we can see what else we're going to do here. Okay, so I do want a little bit of decoration at the bottom. I can't remember what I did last year, but I do have some, I don't know if you can see it, I do have some Christmas ruffles, so I thought maybe I'll see if something like that will go. Possibly. I have this black one. So something like that could go. I don't care for the red. That's not bad. I think I'll go with one of these. One of these two. Just not sure which. And I think just, I'm going to pull in some of the stuff we have in here just to see what colors I have going on here. So I have a bunch of things. This is just a die cut. I'd have to ink it. Actually, let's do that first so we get an idea. I'll ink the backs off camera. I'll show you what I'll do with the white backs, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So just get rid of those white edges. So I think I'm just going to tuck some of these little things in here. Again, these are just little die cuts that I found that I had left over from projects last year. I don't mind stuff hanging off. And I'm just doing this just so I can have an idea of the colors and what it's going to look like. Look at this tag. Isn't that adorable? This was a Christmas card, I think, that I cut down and made into tags last year. I've just covered the back paper. And this is an envelope. We need to do some work on that. Not quite done. But again, that will stick out the back. Possibly if I can get it in there. And that can go there. This is going to have to go in the back. These will all have to go in the back. And this could possibly go in the back. Anyway, that'll help just a little bit just to see what my colors are. So that's not bad. That's not bad either, but I think if I'm gonna put this in the top, that tag is the same material or very close, so I think I'm gonna go with the black. So we're gonna take all these back out now so I can actually work on it. And we will start decorating. I'm going to cut a piece of this off, just so it going on the bottom. And I would like, I think these might be too big. These are some scrappy embellishments that I made last year that I had left over. I think they're gonna be too big. Yeah. So those won't work. Let's see what else I have going on in here. I have some of these. These are some more of little snippets like Artie Mays makes. So maybe one like this will work if I can get it off. Let's see. It's cute, but I made that pocket too small now. Okay, what to do, what to do. Let's see what else I have in my little pot here. These are some big tags. I do have some squares in here. So these circles are gonna be too big. So let me see what I have here. Even those are pretty big, actually. Let me see. Well, what else do we have? I also have some of these. These are, I used them yesterday when I was making the double pocket, but maybe if I take this off, something like that will work. Let's see what that looks like. That could work. Let me ink it up and we'll check to make sure that it's okay. I can actually almost move that up as a I think maybe I'll move that up almost as a trim to that pocket. And then we can put a word down here. I have this one that says Winter Wonderland. Or the other thing I like to do, when I use these, these are cards. I cut them down to make tags and journaling cards with them. But if you cut out the inside, they usually have words as well that are very handy. So I think what I'll do is I think I'm just going to cut out this Merry Christmas. I saved these bits and stamp on them. So we'll just put those over there. I'll just cut this out and see. If this is going to work. The other thing I've done, and I'm not going to do it today because my machine's behind me, but I have used different die cuts to cut them out so that you get a shape, and then you don't have to worry about your wonky cutting like mine is. Okay, so I think that will work. I'm just going to trim it up just a little bit. Try and get it as straight as possible. I cannot cut straight. To save my life. Okay, and we're going to ink that up. So I do like that, and I think that's just probably what we need. So I'm going to stick that in my pot, and then I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to start gluing down this piece of fabric because I want that to dry before we start stuffing it. So I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to go along the edge of that pocket. You want to make sure that it's glued down good because we're not going to be stitching this. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're not gluing that pocket closed. I have to take that washi tape off that bottle. Okay. So I'm going to do it this way, I think. I'm going to try and get the stitching as straight as possible. I'm going to take one of those pieces and just stick it in that pocket so that I make sure I don't glue it down. All right, so that'll be a minute to dry. In the meantime, I'm going to glue down our Merry Christmas sign. I'm going to use my tacky glue because it's not paper, it's the card. Making a mess. Just gonna flatten this, smooth that out a little bit. And stick it down. Okay. Make sure I get that straight. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to set this aside to dry, and we'll go on to the next part because there's a few other things that I want to do. The first thing I want to do is do some work on this envelope. So I'm just going to put this stuff away. This is an envelope that I decoupaged last year with some with some napkins. And so I'm just gonna add some stuff to this. I'm going to just ink around the edges just to define it a little bit. Before I decoupaged on top of it, I did coffee stain it. So you can see the coffee stains behind it. It got really nice and grungy on this side. And I see I'm gonna have to do a touch up. So I'll do that next. Oh, maybe not. Oh yes, right here. I'm just gonna glue that down just a little bit. Again, you want to be careful you don't glue your envelopes together. Alrighty. So I find it a little bit plain up here. So what I think I'll do is I think I'll do some stamping. I did bring some of my stamps. I'm just going to bring my stamping background here. I think I'm going to stamp it with this Merry Christmas, and possibly I might use some of these swirls. I don't know where I got this from, but I'm thinking I might somehow maybe I want the smaller one somehow. Yes, maybe that one. Add some interest to this area over here and into here. So I honestly have no idea if this stamp pad will work. So let's just do a test run here. Do I want a stamping block? Maybe I want a stamping block. It looks like it's going to work okay. So I just want just a little bit of stamping in here just to add a little bit of interest. Before I do that, I should probably do my Merry Christmas. I wish I had red ink. I have red distress ink, but I don't think that'll work. Okay. So I'll put that on. And hopefully I haven't made that too busy. I'm just gonna put just another one right here. Okay, so I'm gonna move those aside and take a peek a little closer what we got. So this is just a Versamagic Jumbo Java. I don't know how old it is. I picked it up at a garage sale, so no idea. All right. I still think that this needs a little something. It needs some red. It needs some red on the front. I don't know what I have for red. He needs a red nose. That's what he needs. Just a matter of if I have something to do it with. So I'm gonna come back to this. I will find something and make a red nose and just give it a little bit of pop of color. Oh, I see some red trim. I can add some red trim too. Where do I want it? I have a die cut for little things like that. That's cute. I will work on this off camera. I'm going to put a little red nose and I might put some of that trim. But I just need to find what I'm looking for. I don't have any liquid pearls in red, but I'll have something. I probably have a red rhinestone. And I will show you, I'll take pictures when we're done. Okay, so this should be done now. So now I think we are good to stick some of the stuff in and see where we're at. So we're gonna stick this in the back. Maybe the rhinestone won't work very well because you do want this to be relatively flat. So maybe I could find something. All right, and we're gonna put the Deck the Paws in there. And this is a journal insert. So imagine if this is your journal page. So you got a journal page here. Don't have another one. So when you're flipping through, then this will become a flip. And then on this end, it becomes a flip as well. So we'll stick that in there. Should have done this to begin with. Put them all in there at once. This doesn't happen when you're not on camera. This only happens when you're on camera trying to put things in bags. Okay. So I also have this journaling card, and I think that's going to be too long for in here. It is. Now we could cut it down. Yeah, we could cut it down, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to bring my paper cutter over because it just takes too much space. I'm just going to cut it along here. We can keep this for another project, and we'll see if that fits in there. Still just a tad long. I can't cut off here. So we'll make a decision on that. I have these. These I got at an antique store this year. And there's a pile of them. There's different ones that you can put in. So we can choose one of these to put in. I think maybe I'll, no, I'm gonna go with the one right on top because it matches the colors better. So, oh, I can stick those in there. Okay. Okay. So this is another card, and so again, you'll have the nice wording in there that you can use. I am going to bring my paper cutter over for this because there's no way I'll get it straight. So we'll have to bring it in. And I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to save this for another project. And I'm going to just trim it. As close to the outline as I can. Okay. So that can go, we always have it in the bottom. That can go there. I'm going to ink it up. And you don't have to ink if you want it like cleaner, brighter look. I don't always ink my Christmas stuff. Last year I made a Christmas journal and I inked it all in pink, red. So you can do that as well if you don't want the dark vintagey look, but the stuff I had made for this that I went through and picked out to put in here, it was already inked, so I want to continue it throughout. So we're going to stick that in here, and I'm wondering now if this will fit in the back. And it will. To add some interest to this one, I think, if I can reach it, sorry if you can see me stretching, I'm going to use my chomper and I'm going to round the corners This is just the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. Okay, and now I'm going to ink this up. So this will just be a journaling spot for somebody. They can stick it in a pocket somewhere else in their journal. They can leave it in here. They can do what they want, but it's got some nice writing space on it. It says Making Memories on this side. And on the other side, it says Merry and Bright. I'm just gonna clean that up a little bit. Okay, so you can see that you're not gonna see a lot of the stuff in the background, but it's there. These are little tags. I got these, I think, from the dollar store, and I just cut them out. I backed them with some paper, and I attached some tabs with some staples. So we'll just stick them in there. So the inking on this one is, I must not have taken my time enough to do it. It's not showing up very well. These are die cuts. I got these years ago from a Christmas scrapbooking kit I got, and I've never done anything with them, but I'm thinking that somebody who is smarter than me can maybe make them into a cute journal cover, because I do think the colors on it are very pretty. So we'll stick that in there. This is it's from the same kit as this. These are actually I had a template from this kit that I made this with. So we can stick that in there, stick the little gift there. And we have this little back pocket. What else do we have to put in there? Okay, let's do this for starters. This again is in a little card. I got a whole box of them at the dollar store last year. And they're just really cute. They're small, and I'm just chomping it over here. Just cutting up my edges. So I cut them in half, and I think what I'll do is I'm going to round these corners as well. Whoops. And just turn this into another journaling card. On the back, because it's white, and I don't like white, I think I'm going to add some stenciling, and I think I'm just going to use the Tim Holtz stencils, possibly, if they're in here, and I've removed them. What did I do with them? I probably put them somewhere to use, and now I've, what have I done with them? I guess we'll just use the one I have, which is, oh, there it is, it's behind it. Goodness, I wanted this one just with some geometric designs. So I'm just gonna lay it on there like that. I think I'll use my Distress ink, and I'm gonna use, let me see. I'm gonna use Mowed Lawn. So I'll do this, and I'm just going to go over it. Now that is really bright. I put too much on, so I'm going to have, oh, I did it again. Still did it. So this one is really, really wet. This ink pad. So there you have it there. I'm going to line this back up and I'm going to finish doing the rest of the design. And then we'll tone it down with some brown because it is very bright. Okay, but that works, and it just gives a little bit more interest to the back. It was really, really white. So I'll just do that. I'm not going to put a tab or anything on it. I'm just going to use this to stick in that back pocket. I'm not going to stitch it. It's just a quick, easy writing space for somebody. If they don't want to use it for writing space, they can make it into a card or a tuck spot, or they can do whatever they need. So I'm going to stick that in there. And the last thing I want to do, I think, is make a little booklet. And the booklet, I think, is going to stick right in here. Get this how I want it. Just like that. Okay, so actually I'm going to spin this way, possibly. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add some paint or something to this. I'll go on and get my watercolors offline just to add some interest to these things there. And this I'm going to tuck a tag in. And I will probably stitch some papers in here and make it into a little booklet, and we'll do something with the front. So I'm wondering if, those colors aren't right, I'm wondering if either one of these will work or one of those other ones. So I think any of these will work. I think I'll probably go with this one. So I'm just going to ink it up a little bit. So this would be some of the ones I didn't ink last year because I wanted them to be a little bit brighter. And now I gotta go back and fix it. Okay, so we have that. Now we need something behind it. And I can either go, I have some lace. That's too much lace. That's not long enough. So I can go with something like that. I still think it needs something, or I do have all of these that I haven't looked at. These I got last year from Michaels. They're on like a chipboard. I got them on clearance. But I could do something like that. That is cute. I do like that. Santa's too big. That. We're gonna go with this, and I have an idea. Okay. We'll put this away after. I'm thinking I can ink that up, and I'm hoping that one of my Merry Christmases that I stamped, or the Winter Wonderland possibly, if I can find one, will fit in there. I'd really like to use this Winter Wonderland, so let's see what we can do. Let's try the Merry Christmas. Is anyone else like me where they can't talk when they're cutting? I have a hard time with that. Concentrating, I guess. Okay. So I do like that. All right, so we're gonna go with that. We're at over 45 minutes, so I'm gonna try and get this done quick. Because this is on chipboard, it takes a while for the ink to dry, so I'm just going to quickly distress this so that it has time to kind of set. I'm just going to go in the middle because I don't want it quite that white. And we'll get this glued on, and then I'm going to figure out something for the background because it still doesn't look right in the back to me. So we'll work on that while this dries. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it's slippery stuff I'm dealing with. And put that on there. Now, I'm thinking we need some music paper or some book page or something like that in the background. So I'm just gonna see what I have. I know I have some book pages somewhere. Okay. See what we have here. That helps. Let's see what else we have. See what else we have in my bin here. See if some of this will work. Both these, the music papers is a paper that I edited from the Graphics Fairy, and this piece of paper here is just a bookend, I think, that I got off the Graphics Fairy. I didn't edit it or anything. Okay. We'll lay that down. It just breaks up that background just a little bit. have got a real mess on my desk over here now, so let's see if I can find my glue stick. Okay. Now, I don't know which way it goes. I think it goes this way. I apologize to anyone who reads music, plays music, because I know I put those on upside down regularly. I do my best, but I've never learned how to read music, and to be honest, it all looks the same to me. So I never know which is up and which is down. And I think it just needs a little tiny bit of fabric or ribbon, lace. Maybe just a touch of that. Okay, so to finish this up quickly before we go, I'm going to glue this down. It is actually chipboard sticker, so we gotta take the back off. It is very sticky, but I don't know how long it'll be sticky for. So we're gonna add some additional Fabri-Tac to it. Get it on there real good so it doesn't come off. And then, what do I want here? The green is this Rick Rack. You know what? I'm going to use a little bit of the Rick Rack. So I'm just going to cut it. Kind of clear my table here. And I'm going to put the glue right on the Rick Rack. I think that's what the stuff's called. And then I'll put it on. So I'm going to go find a bit of red for that nose and finish off that envelope. On the inside of this, I will add some papers to make it a little booklet. What else will I do? I actually think that there is a pocket in there. There is. So I can find a little tag. I had some somewhere. I don't know where they've gone to now. But I did have a bunch of small little tags. Do this. Stick a couple. I got a couple of them, so I can stick a couple of them in there. I can grab another one. Okay. So I don't know if I'll leave those tags in there or replace them. There's that. And then we have this area. This area is looking blank. Let's find different color tags for in there. And let's see. If that one will fit here. It will, but it's got the same sign on here. And I don't really have another little one. That's not the right color. So I'll have to find something for in here. I'll find something. There'll be, maybe it's just a little square. And I'll finish off the inside. And then I'll take some pictures and let you guys know how it turned out. But for now, we'll tuck that in here. And that is this year's loaded envelopes, or loaded bags, sorry. So I hope you enjoyed that, and watch out for the pictures I'll post of the finished product on Etsy, sorry, on Instagram, and then it will be listed up for sale on Etsy. Again, that's Arjet Creations at Etsy. Thank you guys. Hope to see you again soon. Bye now.